going on, good people? Welcome to the Modiversity YouTube channel and welcome to a new series. Oh, my hands keep disappearing. Wow. Welcome to a new series. I'm super excited because we've been talking about this for about a month now and planning and figuring out how we wanted to do this, how we wanted to go about this. But welcome to What's the Tea with MD. Yes, we have the tea for you on your latest movies, TV shows, and TV series, and it's about to go down. Everybody is all welcome. So let me go and bring in the judge.
Yo. What's
up? Going on?
Nothing much. We are back and we are better than ever. We are What's the Tea with MD?
I'm like super excited. I miss talking TVs and movies.
Yes.
Oh God, we have so much to consume. Mm-hmm. And so much to consume in the future, and I'm like super excited that we are back. Yes. So yeah, I want to explain how this is gonna go. So with What's the Tea with MD, like I said, we will just talk about TV shows, movies, and everything. In the future, there will be live episodes. But this is just gonna be strictly one movie, one topic, and we're just gonna break it down, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. And wait a minute.
What?
Wait, what? I think we have a person here.
Looky here. Well, we talking about one movie? Oh, it's a little messy, ain't it? Love it. So
the mess has been cleaned up into a teapot.
I love tea. I love the tea. Yeah. So what is the tea?
The tea? Oh, we have so much tea on what? The Batman.
Yeah.
We are discussing the Batman and there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. I think this is going to be great for all of us to finally, talk about and get it out of our systems and, close that chapter and keep it moving. So, without further ado, Mr. Aaron, how are you, though?
I'm all right. I'm not like a depressed Bruce Wayne. Yeah. I'm not like a depressed Bruce Wayne.
We're gonna get into that later because we're gonna get that to.
Oh yeah, I have a D word in circle and why. Why? But first, I want to just ask y'all with the movie coming out. This movie made by Matt Reeves. We know he has done Planet of the Apes. And I first want to talk about what was your first impressions when you finally consumed the movie in its total time frame. How are you feeling once those ending credits went up, Avia?
It was a movie. I mean, there were some parts that I really liked. There were some really good parts, and then there were some parts that definitely could have been improved. And you could definitely tell that they took Nolan's. They were inspired by Nolan. Like even Reeves said it. Like you could tell that's definitely was the gritty, more realistic aspect that they were going for. And for the most part, it was successful. But like I said, there were some things that could have been improved. But I mean, but for the most part, it was alright.
Okay. Aaron. First impressions. Don't get into the deep impressions.
I'm thinking like
First impressions, not deep.
It did not feel like your typical Matt Reeves film, and that is a good thing. It's a good thing, it's nice to see a director get out of his comfort zone. When the credits rolled, I was like, okay, it did what it said it was going to do. It did what it advertised. Put it like that.
I like that. It did what it advertised because I feel that. I feel like everything. I will say in the trailers, I did feel like we didn't get as much, but then looking back, I'm like, okay, they gave us enough to get us intrigued. But first impression for me, I was like, okay. I honestly would say I was like, that didn't feel like 3 hours, but maybe it was just because I was maybe excited just to see it after all the chaos and mass, like, you know, talk about it. But it was okay.
Yeah. But I'll admit, when y'all talked about trailers, the first few had me like,
Yeah.
If Warner Brothers didn't pull the stuff they pull, I could get behind this. Because, like, you know, with everything that happens, like, okay, all right.
Right.
That's pretty much.
I'm gonna hold my thoughts.
It
did what it advertised. Like
it did what it advertised.
That's the only way I can explain it. Like it said, it was gonna be, you know, this dark, gritty, ultra realistic take of, you know, a certain point in Batman's life, and that's what it did. And I appreciate it. You know, it's cool. So good on them.
Okay. First impressions are out the way. Let's talk about how the acts flowed. You know, this started on Halloween night. Starts with, you know, our Riddler killing somebody. That duct tape scene.
Man,
right.
Yeah, that was kind of cool.
And shout out to our boy Craig. Shout out to our boy Craig, who's in that.
Period. Iconic.
Hey, Craig.
Hey.
Yeah, shout out to Craig for being in that. That opening act, I was like, okay. I see where we're going, giving me these nice little serial killer vibes, you know, creepiness, dark, like you said, gritty. It flowing into, you know, the first appearance of Batman though I felt like that was kind of cool how they had it like a mysterious, dark in the shadows type of fear type thing. Because every person that they panned and looked to was fearful of what was lurking in the shadows, seeing the symbol and everything. And then when he appears, it's just pure, like, I guess I can say it, vengeance.
I'm vengeance.
I remember the voice. Oh man, like he said it too many times. I think that I need to see somebody do a counter of that.
Count how many times he said it.
Right. But yeah, I feel like the opening scene was, you know, a nice introduction to this new aesthetic of what Matt Reeves presented to us.
Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns.
He said beautiful gowns. Oh my God. Speaking of the Riddler, let's talk about Riddler. How are y'all feeling about the Riddler?
I like how they did him because, like, he didn't have, you know, the bowler hat with the question marks all over his jacket. Like, I like the costume. I like how they did his costume. Like, I liked how, like, it was like homemade. Like, it was, you could tell he definitely had serial killer vibes. Like, you could feel it. And I mean, Paul Dano, you know, he did a great job playing the Riddler, I think. I mean, I would like for more riddles, maybe a few more. But I know that he only did them, you know, whenever there was a dead body. But I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I liked him.
Yeah, he was pretty dope. Aaron.
I mean, I agree. I always said, like, the best modern interpretation of the Riddler would be that he'd be, you know, a Zodiac killer inspired guy, you know, who you're like Ted Bundy or something. I think they did that. Like, I always say that's how you're supposed to do Riddler, you know, now. And instead of, you know, the goofy guy who just runs around, you know, doing those riddles. And I like it. Like, he did the damn thing. I give them that. It was very appreciative, you know, very long Halloween-esque.
I mean, that's one of the things Matt Reeves said this was inspired by. So
period.
You can tell the vibes of that was there, especially because it felt like, I mean, it opened up on Halloween, and it felt like, I mean, it was a week along of him killing people, like. So it felt like the longest Halloween. Yeah, I enjoyed him. I like this costume. I don't know. I think that approach with it, like you said, Avia, it does give serial killer vibes. You know, this boy got a duct tape and then taking hammers and trophies and hitting people upside the head. I felt like his approach, just trying to expose the whole city and take the city down because of things that has been done to him, and that was his vengeance, was trying to cause chaos and see if the Batman will really be the Batman. Especially we'll talk about their tie-ins too later. I mean, definitely we could. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about that later because that is like biggest plot twist that I was like, oh shit, like really? That's where y'all gonna go with this? But he did good. I like him. He did really good. He was very creepy, very, Looney Toony. Yeah. He was a Looney Tune. That man was crazy.
Yeah, he was. No, and I mean, if you think about it, it makes sense that basically, even though this is like year 2 for Batman, that's year 1 for Riddler, like it makes sense that he wouldn't be this super cocky dude who would just show his face all the time.
Right.
He would be, those kind of dudes who pop up on them, them QAnon Reddit style things.
And also, like, they didn't show the Riddlers his actual face until he got caught.
Right.
Like, okay, that's cool. I like that that we didn't really see his face until he got caught. Even though we know who played him. Like, we know who played. It's like, okay. All right, that's
I guess you could say the reveal was a riddle.
Yeah.
Okay. The reveal was a riddle. I like that. Yeah, because I think it was kind of just seeing him just have the mask and him basically be a menace and, keep playing with this city like he was, and just like he had the city on lock at one point, like on his move. Like you going live telling, like, it was just crazy. Like, and then him with the thumb drive stuff, and then like sending out all those pictures and everything. Like, my boy had a plan. He was set up, like he set himself up for success. And I'll get into that later too.
And Aaron will tell you, like, I was watching, it's like, and like as he kept going through, like, okay, something is happening here. Like all these people are connected. How is he connected to these people? Like, what does he do? Like, how is he connected to all these public officials? Like, did they kill Stan? Like, did they do this? Did they do that? Aaron will tell you, I was asking all kinds of
Like, he had a whole plan, and I think he executed his plan well. I think he's one villain, and I can say he did execute his plan well. So for the one flaw, but he did execute his plan well. Like, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's get into Miss Selena Kyle, Catwoman, played by Miss Zoe Kravitz. I feel like she is the number one person of this whole movie. She did what she needed to do. She looked great. The way she switched wigs. My favorite was when she in that red wig and she walked into the club. The way she was pumping through, like, oh, I loved her music. I loved anytime she was on screen. I was stuck like Chuck. Like, gosh, she did great.
She was amazing. Like, she had that anti-hero-ness that Selena Kyle is known for. Like, she's in it for herself. But one thing that they did show in this one that Selena kind of had heart, because, like, Selena is a bisexual icon. We understand why Zoe said, she plays bisexual, because her Annika was her girlfriend. Even though I wish they would have just said it. Right. They would have said it was her girlfriend. But, she was amazing. Like, the stunts, like, the kicking butt, like, just the overall catness of her. Like, she probably had the most cat essence, in my opinion, of all the Catwomen. She had the most, like, cat essence. Like, oh yeah, this Catwoman, like, ain't no fans butts about it.
Period.
And, like, how method she got, and, like, that's dedication. Like, he is Selena Kyle. Like, I love it.
Yeah. Mr. Aaron.
I mean, what else is there to say? Hey, I'm gonna say this a lot, I guess. If you're gonna update Eartha Kitt's Catwoman, that's how you do it.
Period.
Like, you know, she was literally the embodiment of that version of Catwoman, but also, you know, the modern comics. It felt so natural, and she is literally the highlight of the whole movie.
Mhm.
You know,
Really is.
that's the Queen Mother, as I saw on Twitter. I said that right? The Queen Mother, like bisexual icon, like the
Right.
queen, like the woman. She. I keep saying she could have. The movie could have literally only been about her, and it still would have been really, really good because Zoe did the damn thing. Like you felt Selena's struggle throughout the whole, you know, narrative. Like it just. It's good to see. It's good to see my girl, Miss Kyle, you know, get her flowers with a story like
Yes,
that.
sir.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, and because she is my number one right now. I honestly feel like the last person to truly get their flowers, and I hate I'm about to go even way back, is like Michelle Pfeiffer and Eartha Kitt. I feel like nobody appreciated. I just had her name, huh?
Anne Hathaway.
Yeah, I feel like nobody appreciated Anne Hathaway because she literally when she tripped Bruce on his cane,
Man,
and
yeah.
and stepped back and said, "Oops." I was like, "Wait,
Ooh.
nobody like that? Like nobody did that shit."
That was a good one.
Like, or like I'm adaptable. Like she, and also Halle Berry. Can we talk about now that people giving Halle Berry her flowers as Catwoman? Like,
she did what she needed to do. I feel like I always looked at that Catwoman as an alternate Earth. And I don't understand why nobody else looked at it like that. As in, you know, this is because in that time, I mean, and it could have worked with a little, you know, sequel too, you know, but you didn't have to introduce no bad family, no nothing. It could have been a whole nother just alternate Earth of how Catwoman is, but in another body, you know, another persona or whatever. But yeah, Halle Berry did what she needed to do, you know. But yeah, Miss Zoe. I hope they develop her character development if she's in the sequel.
Yes, please.
I would love them to pull from Michelle Pfeiffer. You know, the leather suit. You know, the nails. But I just want. That's what I want her next evolution to be. Is that tightness of the leather suit. That more of. Like her using her whip, even though she did use her whip in this, and I was surprised she did use it. I was like, okay, that's enough for me because we're just getting introduced to her. But she did really great.
Oh yeah.
Period.
Connections with her father. How are we feeling about that development with, you know, him being introduced into this movie and how he was, and him having his little things with Bruce, but mainly focused on their relationship? How are y'all feeling about that?
Okay, because when this goes back to something Aaron was working on, so I kind of had like the latter part kind of in my head. I kind of already had the latter part of it in my head. But the moment when when she's in the club, he's in the club, and he talks to her for a minute, and you know he strokes her cheek. I'm like, okay, maybe they were an idol, or maybe they were a thing for a minute. Because it was like, no, that's not father-daughter love. That's more like lover, like, you know, like boyfriend, girlfriend type of affection. I'm like, maybe they're not going that she's his daughter route. Maybe they're trying something different. But then, you know, when she tells Bruce, he's my father, it's like, oh, okay, so they are going that route. All right, okay. And then I was like, okay. I'm cool. I just wish we would have seen, like, if they do the sequel, I wish we could see flashbacks of her and her mom. I see the relationship between her and her mom.
Right.
And, yeah, I thought it was, if they did anything with Selena, that's something I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Now you can bring in the other members of the family, her having to him. It's like, okay, cool. If they go that route, okay. So.
I mean, they better go that route. Shoot.
Yeah, I'm intrigued to see if they will introduce, especially with what Aaron's been telling me about how she goes looking for them and things like that. I wish they would just go ahead and greenlight her a limited series like they're doing Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And
Allegedly, they're supposed to.
I mean, I need that because I think that would be perfect for us to have that in between the movies. Because I'm excited to see what they do with the well, maybe even though Danny DeVito's Penguin is like here, but how they did Penguin on Gotham, I thought that was kind of cool. Just seeing him as this crime lord and everything like that, and going through everything he went through with that. So I would like to see them do that with the series and let us see him actually be a boss. See how he adapts to what the state of the city is now at the end of the movie, since it picks up right where the movie left off. So I wish that they would do that for Selena, because I would like to see where does she go. What happens? How does she feel? Confronting her father now, and now that he's swallowed her dad, maybe he is, maybe he ain't, but what happens next with her life story and everything.
Yeah, just let my girl go to Rome. Let her go to Rome. Let her meet Mario. Let her meet Sophia. Let them come back to Gotham. Like, no, it's so much story. That's why I keep saying this could have easily just been, a Selena movie because of how well they pulled it off. I do wish there was, like Avia said, there was some more interaction between her and her father, but that's pretty on brand for the comics that Reeves based these off. Because in the, not to go super nerdy, but in Dark Victory and Long Halloween, you have Selena confirming this stuff, but you don't know how she knows it, and there has to be a whole other comic series, like a spinoff, where she goes to Rome and she, uncovers all these truths. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm with y'all. Like, out of everything in this universe, like, that's what needs to be seen. Because it's just so good. Like, femme fatale with the crime. Like, it had a little Chinatown in it, a little Double Indemnity. Like, you need some more, like, imagine the black and white style, 40s look. Like, give Selena all the wigs. Give her all the wigs.
All the wigs. Make us turn the wigs around.
Turn the wigs around, Selena.
Because I'm telling you, make it a neo-noir. If they're making like a neo-noir type like that, makes like John Wick or like the newer ones.
Yeah.
That is
well, that'd be good. Mm-hmm. What's that movie with that one? Well, with the Sharon Stone. I hate to say what it's known for, but that scene where the movie with the woman opens her legs while she's doing the
Fatal Attraction.
Yeah. Okay.
Attraction. No. Oh God.
Y'all know what movie I'm talking about.
Let's face it, Sydney. Your mother was no Sharon Stone.
God, now I'll be thinking about that movie.
Well, that movie, like, you mix that with a little bit of John Wick, like Avia's saying, and that's the Catwoman formula right there. Like, that's a modern Basic Instinct. Like, that's a modern interpretation. Like, that's a perfect everything. Like this, and I do got to give him props because it felt like. Did the movie kind of feel timeless to you?
Yeah.
Because it felt like the 90s at some point, but then I'm like, this feels like this could happen anytime, honestly.
Yeah. Basic Instincts.
Period. Yeah,
is that what you was talking about?
Yeah, that's the one. Like, just let me see. Like, let me get a Selena thing. Like, just mix all of these femme fatale. Like, she really is, the OG femme fatale, and seeing it on screen is just perfect. And Zoe pulled it off. Mm-hmm. She got the je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi. Let's go on to somebody else I think did a really, really great job, and I hope we get to see more of is Commissioner Gordon. well, not commissioner yet, but Gordon. I think he did really great.
Oh yeah, I think they definitely showed that like distant but yet necessary relationship between Gordon and Batman. I feel like they did that very well. Gordon's just trying to keep his head above water, and the police department just trying to, solve these cases. Also trying to, deal with the corrupt police department like he always does. And, Jeffrey Wright, like he's amazing. Like he's an incredible actor. And, I just wish that he would be Barbara's father in Batgirl. Because J.K. Simmons was great in Snyder Cut as Commissioner Gordon. Like he was great, but it's just like I don't know. That one feels more
realistic.
Realistic. That one feels more right.
Mm-hmm. It does. I would say Jeffrey has blessed us. Him being the Watcher still shakes me up. Like, oh God, that still shakes me up. But I love the relationship that him and Bruce was developing. My favorite part was when they arrested Batman. And he was like, punch me in the face and go this way. I was like, that right there, that chemistry that they had, I was like, that was dope. I was like, I like that. I love the fact that somebody put like the old school Adam West music with that, like with the crowd, had him running and everything. They had that little music with that, but that was like my favorite interaction with them. They had some little snarky jokes between each other, but yeah, he was dope. He did what he needed to do, and I want more of him too.
Period. Strong black man.
Yep.
Strong black man. Oh my God! Last time I got two more people on this case. We're gonna go to one, and then the main person that we're gonna talk about. But let's talk about Penguin and how he was like, "Whoa, sweetheart, that was funny." It's like,
Colin Farrell was so unrecognizable. Like you never would have known it was him. He did so good. Like with the accent, and I just wish that they would have showed him being more of a threat. Like him like working up his way to being, a crime boss. Because I feel like, he was an underling, but like, show that he's not really someone to be trifled with either. Like,
right.
He can be the cream of the crop. Like he can be the one making the decisions. Like he's the one doing the backhanded deals to be the head of the crime family. And that's all I would. But as far as like the acting and everything, yeah, Colin Farrell did amazing.
I'm hoping that's what happens in his series is that we get present day of what the state of Gotham is and how he's going to handle it, but then also whatever like unfinished business he has with people and everything like that. Will that come arise throughout the series, and then will we see? I would love to see them do like that flashback situation with him, letting us see, like you said, letting us see him rise up, and then how he handles it. I always use this, but I'm sorry, sometimes it works. It's that flashback where you see a lesson that needs to be learned, and then you see that present time when that lesson comes back and they use whatever they learned for the present situation. That is one of my favorite things to do with a flashback with a character or an episode or whatever, is you showing us how they dealt with it in the past and then how they deal with it in the future or present.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see. I enjoy, like, my only gripe is that I do enjoy, the ruthless Cobblepot who's all, in your face and chomp that cigar. But I want to see, like, are they going to try to make him more refined now that, some individuals in the underbelly of Gotham are dead? Like, is he gonna try to clean up his image? Like, that's what I'm interested in, because how do you go from year 2 Cobblepot, where he's, this underling thug, to this, guy that everybody fears and respects? Like, I'm interested to see where that goes.
Child, you know what that makes me think about?
What?
What?
Makes me think about Batman Returns, where Penguin tried to run
Yes.
for mayor.
Yeah. Like, are we gonna get that?
Right. Like, is he gonna, is the fallout of what the state of Gotham is now makes him feel like, well, shoot, maybe I need to run for office and try to protect us in this world, the crime world, give them, maybe if I get myself to that place in politics and the city, they'll respect me more,
Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like, did you get the vibe that he wasn't necessarily like the worst? Like, he was still a villain, but he wasn't the worst one.
Right.
He was willing to work with people.
Yeah.
And speaking of mayor, the black woman running for mayor did her thing. Like she
queen.
Yep.
She needs to be the mayor for the whole trilogy.
Yes.
I just feel like, even though she needs to listen, because you talk about, I get it, you want to save. You need to get your butt in safety. And then when you didn't get your butt into safety, what happened? Pow! Right in the dang on.
I don't think she's gonna listen when her new DA Harvey Dent all up in her ear.
Ooh, Harvey Dent.
Hot mess. Ready. I'm ready for the chaos of Two-Face. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Like, I'm like literally ready for his chaos.
Like, we didn't get anything in the Dark Knight. Like, we barely got anything from him.
It was like a scratch the surface. Like, I was since we're gonna talk about in that part when we see him in that hospital room and he turned his face and it's just like I was like, I want to see him in his suit flipping his coin and stuff like that. I really hope we do get to see that. I say my thought about the future at the end, because I think I shared it with both of y'all, where I think it might go with everybody just coming out of the woodwork and trying to take over Gotham and stuff like that. Like a whole episode, like an animated episode. I feel like that's where it could go. Like, all the villains just doing whatever they want to do, and the Cape Crusader is just running around trying to catch them and stuff like that. But yeah, he did good. Last but not least, I'm gonna let y'all have it, and we're gonna talk about Bruce Wayne, not the Batman. Bruce Wayne. Let's talk about Bruce Wayne. Let's talk about the aesthetics. Let's talk about, the development of Bruce Wayne, not the Batman. Bruce Wayne.
I'm sorry, but Bruce Wayne didn't have any character development. He did not. Like, Bruce did not have any character development at all. Because he was brooding the whole time. Like, he didn't change. Bruce didn't change, like, at all. And like, it made him being so brooding made it easy for the Riddler to spot that Bruce Wayne was Batman. Like, that's how the Riddler knew that, Bruce Wayne was Batman, because only an orphan could be that sad. Like, only somebody who's lost parents could be that sad. And I just feel, because the whole point of Bruce Wayne being a playboy persona is because he's protecting the people around him, so people don't realize that he's Batman. Like, he has his playboy persona is his mask. Like, it's so people don't know that he is Batman. Like, Bruce Wayne will shit talk Batman all day long. Like, he'll like, we've seen it in the Dark Knight trilogy and all those. Like, he'll talk shit about the Batman. But he turns out to be Batman. So there should have been like some kind of differentiation, so that it would have made it harder for the Riddler to know that is Bruce Wayne, that Batman is Bruce Wayne. In my opinion. And also, I wanted more of Alfred. I wanted a whole lot more of Alfred and his relationship with Alfred, because that was definitely missing. And the part when Alfred gets blown up in Wayne Manor, and Bruce visits him in the hospital, and I was like, Miss Wayne, I'm glad to see you. Thank you for being here. And Bruce is like, what? Like someone who was your father figure, someone who's looked after you your entire life is lying on his deathbed right now, and all you can tell him is that you lied to him.
That man was depressed, I'm telling you.
Right, because he was so brooding. You're like, okay,
golly,
I get it, but you have to be able to separate your Batman-ness from your Bruce Wayne-ness.
Yeah.
Like you had to be able to separate those two. I don't know. That's just my.
I think he learned. I think by the end of the movie, I think that probably clicked for him that he has to separate it, and I think we'll see him in another persona. I think we will get that, year 3, year 4 playboyness. He's gonna be spending a lot of money, buying a lot of cars, going without a lot of girls and everything, and especially if Selena not around, he's definitely gonna be hopping around. But I really think the reason, I knew, I was like, dang, he's gonna be like this the whole movie. He's not gonna have no type of emotion while he's Bruce Wayne. He's just gonna be depressed and to himself. And even when he was at the funeral and somebody was, hey, it's Bruce Wayne, he was just like, don't call. The way he looked was like, don't call my name. I don't know you like that. Like, don't be calling my name out in public like that.
Right.
He was very to himself and just chill, depressed. Yes. Aaron.
Like Aretha Franklin said, I think I'm gonna have to pass on this. I think I'm gonna pass.
You can't pass.
I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one. Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne was a decent year 1 Bruce Wayne in a year 2 story.
That's deep.
I think, he's finding his footing, and it makes, I'm going to defend it a little. It makes sense that that's how he's going to act, because he hadn't gotten his shit together, basically, because he's still dealing with, like, all this grief and loss, and he's, like, a functioning, in a functioning depressive state. However, it ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. I just feel like from a narrative take, you cannot have you can, but to have your protagonist be in a state where it's hard to root for him because he's like a wooden board. I don't know. I mean, it's like there are bits I like and there are a lot of bits I don't. It just doesn't feel like it really does feel like, this is the dude that saw his parents murdered and he's so committed to, fighting crime for the rest of his life. But at the same time, it's like, it's not really Bruce Wayne that, everybody has built up that, they act like they know, because of a trilogy or something. Like it doesn't feel like this is the dude who's going to keep a good secret, I guess that's what it is for me. Like Avia said, it's very obvious that this dude is Batman,
right?
And it's not a good, you have to have this moment where you're like, oh, he's Batman, that guy.
Right, like you want it to be laughable when someone's like, Bruce Wayne is Batman? No, like Bruce Wayne, what? But you just don't want it to click like, oh, Bruce Wayne's Batman, like right off the bat. Otherwise,
plot twist, he's Harvey Dent.
Ciao. All right, let's get to the meat and potatoes, plot twist, and all that other good jazz. So we know this is like year 2 or whatever. We know that he's up against the Riddler. The Riddler is basically exposing all city officials, killing the mayor, the district attorney, and was it the commissioner? Was his last person, I think? Leaving these cards and everything. The rat one was funny. The rat one was funny, and then the one when he found where he looked in the bat cage, and it was under the bat. Thought that was funny because he's like, I know who you are, ho. I was like, I know who you are, you whore. But the connection of Batman and the Riddler, though, of them being both orphans, and the Riddler exposing his dad and his mom's, past and everything. I thought that was like, golly, Riddler, like, sheesh, like,
Yeah, that was
you
rough.
coming for blood? You gonna put this man's mom's business out there like that? Like,
Right.
sheesh. I will say, and this is just an Easter egg for me, it gave me tease that they were trying to hint that Martha Wayne could low-key been Joker too.
Yup.
Because in that other alternate universe, in that other movie,
right?
You
right.
She was. So it's like, I felt like that was just like a little Easter egg for me personally, because I picked that one. Like, that was literally the first thing I thought about, was like, dang, like, you talk about her mental illness, like, like, wow, that's crazy. Like, were you trying to, that was like the first thing I thought about. But the fact that he exposed his family like that was crazy. Like, geez, Riddler. How are y'all feeling about their connection of being orphans together, and how Riddler, trapped him and everything?
That's what made it so easy. Like that's what made it so easy for the Riddler to point it out, because that's how he was able to call out Bruce Wayne so quickly.
Right.
And he's like, well, if you're responsible, like, if your parents are responsible, I'm making you responsible, even though you had nothing to do. You knew nothing of what was going on. I'm still holding you accountable for your parents' mistakes.
Right.
Damn. Okay.
Jeez. Right. Took it back to the goddamn orphanage. Played the video. I was like, wow. Like,
I mean, but that's on brand for a dude who spends all his time on a computer, though. He can find the information, and like, you gonna put your business out there.
Okay. He put the whole city business out there. Yeah, that was, like I said, Riddler's plan was executed well. I mean, the way they called him, I thought that was funny, and everything. Him leaving that question mark on that, they kafa. But yeah, them having their little encounter at the in the jailhouse, and him asking him what did he do and everything like that. This is where I get to saying that I feel like the Riddler did win, because he did blow up Gotham seawall and flood the whole city, made chaos really happen. Did y'all feel like he won this round with Batman?
Because he killed the people that he wanted to. Like, I think he won some battles. Well, I'll say that. I think he won some battles. Like, so most of the people that he wanted to take out, he took out.
Right. That makes sense. Like, he didn't win the war.
Right. He didn't win the war, but he won some battles. He won most of the battles. But he didn't win the most important battles.
Yeah. And I mean, dang, no, when you put it like that, it kind of makes sense that this would lead to him becoming so cocky, because he's the only one who has played chess with Batman and won a round. Like, that makes sense. He would become like the super cocky dude. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, he won a bunch of battles. He didn't win the war. And I mean, to go back to the orphan thing, I think like it's really cool when you think about everyone importance an orphan, and it's how they all deal with loss from their families, and it's like they all won in some sort, in some way. Like, Bruce won by overcoming his demons, Selina won with her revenge in a way, and the Riddler won by getting, his revenge on certain individuals. But it's like, who really? Yeah, okay, no, see, that's a deep question. Like, who really won, though? Okay, you posed a good. Okay.
Who really won? I don't think nobody won right now. I think if there is a sequel, I think that person won, because that person is taking control. If it's if it's who they say it might be, it will perfectly let him have the upper hand at the moment.
The Penguin won because he got a spinoff.
Right.
Touche.
He wasn't the rat. He wasn't the rat.
Right.
Right. I'm not the rat. He said, y'all just gonna leave me? Oh man. All right. I think that's all I have on my notes. Anybody else want to discuss before we get into something that dropped today? Does anybody want to discuss anything like Easter egg that they felt that stood out to them? I have one thing that stood out to me. Anybody want to say something?
We're gonna talk about the clip soon, like in just a second. But I thought it was very interesting that the Riddler, and for the 2 minutes that we see the Joker in the movie, that they are roommates. That there is oh God, what trouble are these two gonna get into?
Right.
What are they going to do? Like, what are the craziness that they're concocting in this little cell? And that was just interesting. But it should have. I feel like if they were gonna keep that, it should have been at the end, like the very end, for like there could be a sequel with these two, with more villains coming. So
right.
But I mean, that was something that stood out to me.
You, Aaron?
Like Aretha Franklin, I'm gonna have to pass on this one.
Man, for me, it would have been him taking out his little green tube and sticking it in his leg. It made me think about Venom. It made me think about Bane. It made me think that the process of Venom has already been made, and Batman came across it already. Took it to the house, to the lab to see what it was. He tested it at the house. He was like, "Oh." And then he was like, I can use this when I'm in a weak state. And that's what he did. So I think that was Venom. And that lets me know that drug is already in the atmosphere of this world.
Do you think they would make him addicted to it like in the comics?
Ooh.
Yeah, if he's already, we don't know how many doses he done took. That might be the reason why he was the way he was the whole time in the movie. And his Bruce Wayne state, he might be already addicted to it and probably has already been drained from it. That's deep.
That'd be interesting.
It would be. Okay, Aaron, I see you with the tank. See you there. But like I said, we have something dropped today. A nice little deleted scene. I have not seen it yet. So this is a fresh eyes for me. So let's see what's about.
The discourse this 5-minute clip caused. The discourse this caused.
I think all three of us are in like 3 different minds.
Right.
Like, because
like the 3 of us are just we got 3 different things to say. It's okay.
That's pretty much it.
Who gonna go first?
I'll go. See, I feel like I'm indifferent about it. I mean, it was a cool scene to shoot. Like, the scene was cool. If they put it in there, I would have been fine with it. If they didn't, we saw it without it, so I would have been fine with it too. And I just know Barry really did put his all in it. I'm very appreciative of that he really did, go all in with this character. And the fact that even though Joker's like his arch enemy, he still went to him. Like, he didn't go to any kind of like analyst, nothing. He went to the Joker, and it's like, oh, stuff is getting real if he's going to him for help. And you're just like, okay. All right.
Go ahead. This is the closing topic, so we good. I wish they wouldn't have took it out.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they wouldn't have took it out, or you could have just let it be a post credit. And it could have been a deleted scene post credit. You know, it could have been a post credit that's a deleted scene. And it just would have had more layers to, I feel like it would have had another layer to the experience of the movie. I did see that somebody was like, well, if they would have kept it, it would have took the pacing off. I feel like if that's the case, you could have put that. Where could have you? Because when I think about what I said earlier, I said you could have put it out that he left from seeing Riddler, but Riddler was already locked up and he knew who he was, so that wouldn't work. But you could have put it. It could have went somewhere.
It did when things were going bad. I feel like when things are going like really bad, he couldn't find the answers.
Right before the climax.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I would have been happy if it was a post credit and just be like, you know, but. It did cause a lot of discourse. I done seen so many different Jokers today. I'm like, God. That's why I didn't watch it. I think I didn't watch it initially because I'm, and this will be a topic in the future on What's the Tea, is that I'm so sick of everybody in their discourse. Like, to be honest, like I really am. Like, I'm over it. Like, you know, it's gonna be more stuff that comes out, that more characters, more character arcs, more everything. And I think for me, I'm just burnt out on everybody comparing this and comparing that. And you know, it's okay to disagree, but sometimes the discourse is unhealthy because a lot of y'all just be like, I be like, is it that serious? You know? But to each his own. Aaron, speak your mind, please.
Well, it was a decent scene. I agree with Mike. They should not have taken that out. I think it says a lot, you know, that they didn't want to have a scene that just kind of reinforced that Batman was kind of stupid for thinking he could redeem certain people. You know, it is what it is. That's a good criticism for Batman. I think it needs to be thrown in his face. If you're gonna take from Silence of the Lambs, do it right. If you're gonna take from other '90s movies, do it right. I feel like it's a little derivative. You know, you can't be taken from Heath and think we ain't gonna notice. You know, it's cool though. It is what it is.
I kind of heard the lip smack like he had. I kind of heard that little.
And I heard that little chuckle that little hearty chuckle that he gonna have. I'm like, Barry did put his soul and he put his foot in this little food dish, but man, that's the first time I've seen this clip in full because I skipped around because all the damn discourse.
Because the whole time the Joker's talking, like Batman's always in focus. Like you always see Batman in focus. But for some reason, the Joker is out of focus. Like we don't know who that is. Like we obviously know it's the Joker.
Like,
why don't we just focus
the
on
man
his
got
face?
green hair.
Just focus on his face. Like we know it's him. just
talk about. Oh, that's Calendar Man. What?
That would have been hilarious if it turned out to be Calendar Man.
Like they could do like kind of like they did at the end where they were focused and you see like his eyes, his mouth, like the back of his head with all the scars in the back of his head. Like with that at the beginning, make a little the suspense, be like, oh, okay, who's he talking to? And then you see everything like, oh,
I don't see the point in releasing this clip while the movie's still in theaters though. No shade.
It's giving me very much go see my movie.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way.
I was like, damn, Mike.
Not in a bad way. Like, you know, this is something that was taken out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I didn't mean to say it like not in a bad way, but like, you know, this is something to give you to get people to the theaters to see the, you know, actual final product. Also lets me know, and Mike, what did I say earlier? It's giving director's cut too for Blu-ray.
Yeah.
If they do, I would not be surprised if he has a director's cut because
not release the Reeves cut.
Because I'm thinking, okay, like if they're gonna do that, if they're gonna do a deleted scene, they would normally do it like around the time that the movie comes out on digital. Like they normally release those. So why now? Like then no one's ever does that, and it was a release on the official Warner Brothers YouTube. So why?
That's why they might have a director's cut coming out on like HBO Max or something.
Right. Especially like especially if people can't see it in the theater anyway.
Yeah.
It's like they were trying to make a viral moment. I think that's what it was. They were trying to make a viral moment, and they did that.
On the first word. Did they though?
Come on, man. That timeline was in chaos.
In chaos.
Was anybody hashtagging the Batman? Everybody talking about Barry.
Heath.
Okay, it was the Jokers.
I saw Jared and I saw Barry. I was like, okay, here we
talking
go.
About the Jokers. They weren't talking about Matty Matt. I love Matty Matt though. Like I don't know. I guess I expect from him now, and I think that's on a lot of people when it comes to especially directors. You know, he made, when I saw Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, I was like, oh my God. Okay,
it was great.
This dude.
It was great.
Okay. And I just
kind of expect Planet of the Apes.
That. Oh man, yeah. Like I feel like he's gonna give us that. He's gonna give us that with Batman at some point. Like I know that.
I told you, I feel like it's gonna be a sequel, and then I feel like it's gonna be a third movie, but it's gonna be split into 2 parts. And I feel like it's going to get. I feel like if he keeps the time length of these movies, he's gonna be able to tell the story that he wants to tell. He's gonna let these characters be able to develop, and I feel like a time jump might come too. You know, it won't be like a massive time jump, but I can see a time jump from the sequel to the third movie, and him splitting that last one up. I can see a time jump between the sequel and the third movie, and you know, them that good prime year, like what could you call a prime year where everybody is at their prime, all the villains is like they first they know who they are, huh?
Give me Dark Victory. I'm telling you, I guarantee you the third one's going to be a time skip, and it's going to be on like another Halloween.
Close it out open it up on a Halloween, close it out on a Halloween.
Yeah. I can see that.
I'm here.
And I do hope he does introduce the quarter hours, even though I felt like he did kind of speculate.
Yes.
I felt like he did hint and speculate that they are there. Because who was that was talking about a secret society or somebody? Somebody said something about a society or something, or was alluding to something like that. I can't remember. I haven't had a second watch yet.
Because you can't tell me that the Waynes and the Arkhams were not members of the Court of Owls. You cannot tell me. They're the both oldest families in Gotham. You can't tell me they were not members. Like you can't like you can't tell me they weren't.
I guarantee you the code word for the court is hush.
I'm so here for you. Like I remember you said that having Hush working for the Court of Owls. Child.
I'm here for it. Give me those owl masks. Give me those. I'm here.
Okay. Like Aaron said, he was like, let Bruce go to a party and then be the one in the middle of the floor, and then all these owl masks pop up.
Like my
favorite movie.
At the party in Cuba in No Time to Die.
Oh, I say like Eyes Wide Shut.
That too.
I actually could honestly theory. My only theory would be maybe since certain mafiosos are dead in that universe now, maybe Harvey Dent's trying to take down the court.
That's a possibility.
Okay. We have a lot of theories for the future.
Don't bring
you know what I feel like that second gonna be?
What?
Attack on Arkham. Whoa, no. I think that's what your third one might be. And that's why it's gonna be split into 2 parts, because you get your Attack on Arkham and then you get everybody out of Arkham. But I hope Mr. Freeze freezes the
That's
city.
A long Halloween.
Right.
Like freeze the city, freeze, please. Please.
For real.
Woody
Killer Croc.
Ooh, Killer Croc. Woody Harrelson is Mr. Freeze. I can see it.
I'm here for it.
Oh yeah.
I would definitely be here for that. But I think that's about it. My notes is crossed out all the way down to the bottom.
All righty then.
I hope y'all this was fun. We got most stuff to watch and talk about. Y'all better be watching Abbott Elementary.
Right.
So we're gonna have a full show on that one.
Love that show. Love that show.
Amazing.
I watched the latest episode yesterday.
It's really good.
I haven't watched the newest one. Child, y'all check out Deep Waters if you want to. Y'all check out Deep Waters if you want to.
Written by the talented Sam Levinson.
Child, and on that note,
No.
Avia, Aaron, Odd Geek, subscribe, follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. We're out of here.
Peace.